So while I load this, I just thought I would commence by thanking NICE for the opportunity to speak and to offer a few comments on this very important subject. So can you see my presentation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can.
Yes. Okay, so let me just go to full screen view. Basically, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about maintaining a free and open Indo-Pacific from the Indian perspective and build on the excellent remarks already offered by Admiral Karambir Singh. Pramod, is the slide changing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so as we all know that two broad systems currently engaged in a global competition. One is the state system that draws its legitimacy from a consensually derived rules-based order, and the other is a state system that seeks to disrupt consensually derived rules-based order and supplant it with an order whose rules are generated in an exclusive state. So as Cleo Pascal was mentioning, the United States advocates a system which tries to coordinate its own actions with those of major like-minded powers, particularly middle powers, including India, and contends that such a system is necessary to balance and counter belligerent actions by state actors that undermine and threaten the endurance of a liberal-based, rules-based order. Whereas, in contrast, and reflecting a desire to return to the Middle Kingdom period of Chinese hegemony, China seems to be pushing for a system of unipolarity that will be guided and governed by rules that would be formulated in Beijing, a system that would situate China as the keystone of all facets of intra and extra regional affairs, integration, and engagement. And this is what is causing the current tensions within the Indo-Pacific and, I dare say, elsewhere. Now, as far as India is concerned, like every other country, India has a set of geo-economic goals and another set of non-geo-economic goals, which it is pursuing. I thought I would show you a few of these sample of our geo-economic goals and our non-geo-economic goals. We wish to develop a high-quality digitalized economy, moving from a $3 trillion nominal economy to a $30 trillion one by 2047, while avoiding the middle income trap and reducing national and regional wealth inequality. Our goal is to become a major manufacturing hub in global supply and value chains and become an advanced country by 2047. In terms of our non-geoeconomic goals, we wish to sustain and maintain our territorial integrity and our cartographic identity. We want to build and enhance our prestige that is enjoyed by India. We are hoping our goal is to change the United Nations Security Council and take up membership there. And of course, as Admiral Karambir Singh has already said, be the preferred security partner within the Indo-Pacific and inspire the global South. So like every other country, we then, having established these goals, we now have geostrategies for the attainment of the geo-economic goals and other geostrategies for the attainment of our non-geo-economic goals. Many of these are now on the screen before you. I would like to emphasize the ones which are in green, which is the geostrategies for the attainment of non-geo-economic goals. Here we are seeking our strategy is to seek persistent advocacy of the UNSC, to be seen and be the first responder in HADR, be proactive in cooperative regional holistic structures, holistic security and stability structures, give tangible manifestation to an alternative to the US alliance system, and develop initiatives for connectivity of all shapes and forms. And so our grand strategy in the Indo-Pacific, our military strategy, our maritime strategy are all being increasingly contextualized to this vast space that we call the Indo-Pacific, which has already been described geographically by Admiral Karambir Singh. So for India, it's important to remember that for India, the Indo-Pacific is not in and of itself a strategy. It is rather a strategic geography. So unlike some of the other countries of the world, we don't have the Indo-Pacific as a strategy in and of itself, but it's a geography in which New Delhi pursues several inclusive, cooperative, and sometimes even competitive strategies, all of which are designed to promote India's core national interest, which is the economic, material, and societal well-being of the people of India. And so our grand strategy is founded upon these 5 Hindi words, all of which start with the sound of S. Samman, which is respect, Samvad, which is dialogue, Sahyog, which is cooperation, Shanti, which is peace, and Samriddhi, which is prosperity. And our engagement with the Indo-Pacific supports free and openness by saying that it will be inclusive, pluralistic, cooperative, collaborative, open, and transparent in both intent and action, and will promote dialogue, international law, a democratic and rules-based international order in which all nations, small and large, thrive as equal and sovereign. So India really believes that to maintain a free and open Indo-Pacific, all nations, big and small, must be able to enjoy economic, material, and societal growth in an environment of peace and security. And this is what is encapsulated in the acronym SAGAR, which Admiral Karambir Singh has expounded upon. I just thought I'd show you a diagrammatic depiction of SAGAR. This is our DIME. It's our diplomatic, our informational, our military, and economic outreach through the region. And giving a first order specificity to the policy of SAGAR is the Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative, which once again been touched upon by Admiral K.B. Singh, and I don't need to dwell upon it. It's important to remember that the Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative is linked to SAGAR in that it provides first order specificity to SAGAR by identifying 7 lines of maritime lines of thrust. And there are several nations that have already volunteered to lead one or more of these 7 lines of thrust, as you can see on this particular screen. Not all of these nations are located within the Indo-Pacific, but they all utilize it one way or another. So the Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative is not a geographic construct. Now, as far as India is concerned, our strategy will always be like everybody else's, informed by an ongoing assessment of present and future risk in the region. And we have 7 major risks, one, I suppose, for each day of the week. They are shown on your screen here. And geopolitical constriction is a particularly problematic risk for us, particularly in current times where state-on-state conflict seems to be in the offing. And so as far as we are concerned, our strategies within and to support the free and open Indo-Pacific in times of peace involves constructive engagement. And we're presently concentrating upon 5 major but very different approaches to this endeavor of constructive engagement. The first is through multilateral constructs. Many people think that the Indo-Pacific hasn't got enough overlapping constructs, but this noodle bowl diagram tends to dispel that particular point of view. And we think that IORA is of particular importance, and we're giving it a great deal of focus right now. India is about to take over the chairmanship of IORA early next year, and we hope that we will be able to provide the requisite impetus to this organization. Then our second approach is through the Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative, of which I've already spoken, and I don't need to dwell on any further. Our third is through minilaterals such as BIMSTEC, and this, as you can see, incorporates landlocked countries such as Nepal and Bhutan within its ambit. And Pramod has already indicated right in the very beginning why the NICE and Nepal per se is so interested in developments in the Indo-Pacific, and he's absolutely right. Also incorporating this particular minilaterals are the 7 trilaterals that India is engaged in the maritime domain: India, USA, Japan, India, Japan, Italy, India, Indonesia, Australia, India, Australia, France, India, France, UAE, India, Brazil, South Africa, and of course the 5 countries of the Colombo Security Dialogue, that is India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Mauritius, Maldives, and the Seychelles. Our fourth approach is the Quad. I think particularly that the best way of doing exactly what it should do. that is the best way to sustain a consensually derived rules-based order across the length and breadth of the Indo-Pacific is for the Quad to weave the regional fabric together through cooperative economic frameworks, quality infrastructure, comprehensive maritime situational awareness and domain awareness, and collective HADR partnerships, health security, climate change, and clean energy transition. This is what will enable the region to prosper and grow in a condition of stability. And our last approach, our fifth approach, is the proactive promotion of connectivity, particularly maritime connectivity, in which we wish to be specific into the ports that are to be connected, what's the medium upon which this connectivity is to be maintained, which platforms or entities will enable the connectivity, what will be carried on those platforms, will there be cargo, will there be human beings, will there be data streams, will there be all of the above, what are the policies that we will put in place to facilitate this connectivity, and then what is the rules-based legal and normative practices that underpin maritime connectivity. So with these approaches, this is how India is approaching the maintenance of the Indo-Pacific as a free and open space, which is I do not see any great advantage in switching this to what my preceding speaker said, to the free and open international order, because the free and open Indo-Pacific itself rests upon a free and well-established, consensually derived, rules-based order. And I'll stop there, and thank you for your attention.